It is 2 a.m. Your baby cries. You reach out instinctively, heart already moving before your mind catches up. You have been told, do not pick them up every time, you will spoil them, but something inside resists. That pull you feel toward your crying baby is not weakness. It may be your greatest parenting instinct ever. You hesitate at the crib, watching, waiting, wondering whether responding immediately is truly the right thing to do. Every cry feels urgent. Every silence after feels like relief. But what is truly happening inside that tiny body? You have asked yourself, am I holding my baby too much? Am I creating dependency? Am I doing this wrong? The doubt creeps in at 3 a.m. when the crying will not stop and all advice seems to conflict. But here is what no one tells you. Every single time you pick up your baby, something remarkable happens. Inside that small, fragile brain, an extraordinary event unfolds the very moment your warm arms lift them close. This is not about parenting philosophy. This is about biology, about neuroscience, about what your touch literally builds inside them. Picking up your baby immediately is not indulgence. It is construction. You are building a brain one moment at a time. The secret is hidden in synapses, in stress hormones, in the deep wiring that shapes who your child becomes. Today, science finally has the answers, and those answers will forever change the way you look at every cry. Because those moments, you reaching down, lifting up, holding close, are the most powerful brain-building tool ever discovered. Welcome to the hidden science of picking up your baby immediately. What you are about to learn will move you. Researchers at Harvard University's Center on the Developing Child have spent decades studying what happens in an infant's distressed brain. When a baby cries and no caregiver responds, the brain immediately registers this as a serious threat to survival. The body releases cortisol, the primary stress hormone. In small doses, manageable, but in infants, prolonged surges are dangerous. Studies from Stanford University reveal that prolonged cortisol exposure in infants actively disrupts the formation of critical neural connections. The developing brain is not like an adult brain. It is extraordinarily vulnerable, plastic, and shaped entirely by external experience. At birth, a baby's brain contains approximately 100 billion neurons, but most are not yet connected into functional networks. Every experience, every sound, touch, and response triggers synaptic connections. The brain is literally under construction every moment. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child coined the term serve and return to describe responsive caregiving's role in neural architecture. When a baby signals through crying or reaching and a caregiver responds promptly, a neural circuit is immediately reinforced. Each responsive interaction is like laying a brick. Repeated responses build walls. Walls become the architecture of the growing mind. When responses are delayed or absent, those same neural circuits go unbuilt. The brain architecture remains incomplete and fragile. Dr. Charles Nelson of Harvard Medical School documented that neglected infants show measurably smaller brain volumes in key emotional regions. One critical region is the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. In unresponsive environments, it becomes chronically hyperactivated. This state is known as amygdala hijack, where the stress response completely dominates before any rational processing can occur. In a baby consistently left to cry without response, the amygdala trains itself to expect danger and emotional abandonment. But the moment a caregiver responds, picking up, holding, soothing, the amygdala receives a powerful countersignal. Safety exists. This countersignal is not just emotional, it is neurochemical. The brain releases oxytocin, the bonding and trust hormone. Oxytocin, studied extensively at the University of Zurich, quiets the stress response and promotes neural growth simultaneously. Cambridge University researchers discovered that skin-to-skin contact between parent and infant produces synchronized brainwave patterns known as neural synchrony. Neural synchrony means the parent's and baby's brains operate on the same frequency, literally thinking and feeling in rhythm. This synchrony deepens emotional bonding and accelerates the baby's prefrontal cortex development, the seat of future reasoning and control. Mirror neurons play a central role here. These specialized brain cells fire both when performing an action and observing it. When a parent picks up and soothes a baby, the baby's mirror neurons register the response and internalize it biologically. Over time, the baby's brain learns to self-soothe by drawing on mirrored experiences, building internal regulation from external responsiveness. Stanford's Dr. Philip Fisher demonstrated that responsive caregiving measurably lowers infant cortisol levels within minutes of physical contact. This cortisol reduction is not temporary. Repeated interactions train the brain's stress regulation system to respond far more efficiently. The National Scientific Council on the Developing Child published that toxic stress poses significant risk to lifelong brain health. Conversely, children receiving consistent responsive caregiving show greater hippocampal volume, governing memory, learning, and emotional processing. The science is unambiguous. Picking up your baby immediately is not spoiling them. It is literally sculpting their brain. To understand this more deeply, consider one of the most revealing experiments in all of developmental psychology today. The still face paradigm was designed by Dr. Edward Tronick at Harvard and first conducted in the 1970s. In this experiment, a mother engages warmly and responsively with her infant, smiling, talking, mirroring, and for several minutes. Then, without warning, the mother is instructed to go completely still. No expression, no response, no engagement at all. Within seconds, the infant notices the change. The baby reaches out, points, babbles, desperately trying to re-engage the unresponsive face. When the mother remains unresponsive, the infant's distress escalates rapidly. They turn away, they withdraw. Their posture collapses in defeat. The infant's cortisol levels spike measurably within just 60 seconds of the still face. The full stress response activates. The moment the mother re-engages, smiling, reaching, responding, the baby's distress dissolves with remarkable speed, and regulation is restored. Dr. Tronick's findings showed that even brief unresponsiveness is registered by the infant brain as a genuine survival threat. This experiment illustrates why immediate responsiveness matters. The baby's brain cannot yet distinguish between emotional absence and physical danger. Now imagine this cycle repeated not once in a lab, but hundreds of times across the first year of life. Each consistent responsive pickup writes a message into neural code. The world is safe, help arrives, you are not alone. Think of the infant brain as a wild, fertile garden growing in every direction, waiting for a gardener's shaping hand. Without tending, the garden grows chaotically. Some pathways thrive, others wither. The landscape remains unpredictable, fragile, and prone to disorder. With consistent responsive tending, watering the right places, guiding growth, the garden becomes ordered, lush, and beautifully structured. In neuroscience, this tending process is called synaptic pruning, the brain's way of strengthening used connections and eliminating unused ones. Synaptic pruning is like landscape architecture. Pathways walked most often become paved roads. Ignored pathways slowly disappear entirely. Every time a parent picks up a crying infant, the neural pathway linking distress to comfort is walked and deepened. Over hundreds of repetitions, this pathway becomes a neural superhighway, an automatic, efficient route the brain travels instantly under stress. These neural superhighways don't just manage infant distress. They become foundations for emotional intelligence, empathy, and lifelong resilience. Attachment theory, developed by psychiatrist John Bowlby and tested by Mary Ainsworth, defines secure and insecure attachment styles. Children with secure attachment demonstrate superior academic performance, stronger friendships, and better mental health outcomes throughout their development. Ainsworth's strange situation experiment revealed that securely attached infants explore boldly, trusting their safe caregiver base reliably awaits their return. The safe base concept is neurological. The prefrontal cortex functions more efficiently when the amygdala is not overwhelmed by threat. A child with internalized safety through repeated responsive pickups has a quieter amygdala and a more curious, creative brain. University of Minnesota's longitudinal study tracked children from infancy to adulthood, finding secure attachment predicted stronger coping skills decades later. The body stores early responsive interactions physically. Securely attached infants show healthier cortisol rhythms and stronger immune function overall. The biological legacy of being picked up promptly and held warmly is written throughout the brain and the entire developing body. Every fiber of a child's developing system, neural, hormonal, immunological, is shaped by the quality of early caregiving responses. This is the profound truth science has uncovered. The simple act of picking up your baby is biological construction. And now this returns to you, standing at that crib, arms reaching down, heart already moving before your mind decides. You were never spoiling your baby. You were never creating weakness. You were building the most important structure of their life. Every pickup was a brick. Every soothing whisper was a beam. Every I am here was a foundation being laid. You do not need to be perfect. Neuroscience does not ask for perfection. It asks for consistency, warmth, and showing up. Dr. Tronick's research shows it is not the rupture that damages a child, it is the rupture left unrepaired. If you missed a cry, if exhaustion won that night, you can repair, you can return, you can reconnect. The infant brain is built for repair and reconnection. It is designed to respond to love that keeps consistently returning. Try the 5-second pause. When your baby cries, before doubt or fatigue takes over, take 5 seconds, breathe, and respond. In those 5 seconds, remind yourself, this is not just noise. This is a signal. This cry is building a brain. Practice narrating your pickups. Saying, I hear you, I am here, you are safe, creates powerful acoustic anchors for their brain. Each time you lift your baby, make eye contact, it triggers neural synchrony, aligning your brainwaves and deepening your bond. You need no laboratory, no degree. You only need your arms, your warm presence, and your willingness to respond consistently. The greatest neuroscientists in the world have studied this for decades and arrived at the same conclusion you already felt. Picking up your baby is not just love. It is architecture, legacy, and the most profound act of human creation. Every time you reach down and lift them up, you are not just holding a baby. You are building a human.